Night in the Woods by Infinite Fall is a curious game. It falls somewhere between a mellow platforming adventure and an interactive storybook. You play as a 20-year-old Mei Borowski who decides to drop out of college and return to her hometown of Possum Springs. As you journey through her day-to-day, you meet people, explore, and build relationships with your friends and other townsfolk. While everything appears normal in the beginning, you quickly find out Mei has a storied history in the town. And before she even has time to settle in, a mystery presents itself. It is up to Mei to discover the dark secrets it holds while battling her own at the same time. Before I begin, I have to praise the art style of this game. It is simple and beautiful. Without such pleasing visuals, I'm not sure the game would be nearly as engrossing. Every environment, from the town to Mei's ethereal dreams, is vibrant and full of living details. The music is also exceptional. There's different tracks for almost all of the different areas that you explore, and they add loads of atmosphere to the already interesting environments. Most of your time in Night in the Woods is spent exploring the town of Possum Springs, interacting with people and your surroundings. This is accomplished by running and jumping through the town. The platforming itself presents little challenge, but does a good job in breaking up the more tedious running sections. It is completely up to the player how little or how much they want to discover about Possum Springs and its inhabitants. I found myself compulsively checking every spot that I could each day to inch out another piece of back or side story. The game actively rewards your exploration with interesting content, making it enjoyable to search high and low. While I found myself bored at points, trudging through the same locations, only to find that nothing had changed that day, the overarching story and atmosphere stayed interesting enough to push me to continue. The most compelling part of Night in the Woods comes when you get to make decisions as Mei. Throughout your journey, you are given options of what to say and who to spend your evenings with. I found myself selecting responses that echoed my own personality, and follow-up dialogue matched the tone of my choice. This inclusion made the experience so much more interactive, making me feel like I was in Mei's shoes and not just a bystander to the story. You are also faced with decisions on who to hang out with most nights. It starts simply, with band practice, but quickly evolves into amazing side adventures. These offer the most gameplay variety and some of the most memorable moments. These outings are varied and can have you shooting a crossbow in the woods or helping fix an old furnace. Through these interactions, you always learn something deeper about Mei and her friend, giving the player an insight into what their life is really like. It is a feeling that I rarely find in story-driven games these days. Games like Skyrim present us with flat characters who have obvious motives until you get the occasional plot twist. Finding out that the character is more than just what they present on the surface adds depth and meaning to the story. Most characters in the game will open up to you in this way if you keep talking to them. It really makes you feel like you're interacting with and becoming closer friends with the townsfolk. It is done so well, you just have to play the game to truly experience it. Mei keeps a journal of all the little events that impact her. She draws pictures of these moments, allowing you to reference the past, logging your adventures and discoveries. Night in the Woods covers some deep topics that allow it to become more than just a spooky mystery and more of a commentary on life itself. Mei has many insecurities and is constantly feeling ups and downs throughout her adventure. Things like family, past relationships, and even fear of growing up are openly talked about. While this may seem jarring, the writers managed to make it feel very natural, and it feels like a conversation you could have with a close friend in a tough situation. These are seriously difficult themes that I have never seen in any video game before, and I applaud the team for taking a risk and making it work. Even things like child abuse and the existence of God are touched upon. I don't know if the game would have stuck with me in any way if it excluded these questions that itch at the back of my head. By the end of Night in the Woods, I felt as if I had learned a little more about myself, and not just the game. Night in the Woods is truly a special game in a special place within gaming. Its focus on dialogue-driven storytelling and light exploration makes it feel like an interactive book. Few, if any, games attempt to tell a story as layered and rooted in the real world as Night in the Woods does. By allowing the player to control the protagonist within the story, it naturally creates a connection between them. Choices and actions feel impactful as the world and characters adapt and react to your own decisions. While Night in the Woods is more of a story than a game, it proves that the interactivity that a game provides builds a platform for storytelling that can create a deeper and more meaningful impact on the audience.